Okay, guess what time it is? There are the peaches, the Sure-Jell, the sugar. My jars are all washed in the dishwasher and sterilized. I've got a batch of peaches over here in the sink washing, and I've got water ready to dip them in so the peel will peel right off, hopefully. Had the wrong burner on there. Then we're all set. I hope. I have eaten one peach just to make sure it's good, and it is. So after I get the peaches all peeled and ready to slice, I'll come back to you. Okay, I have my peaches scalded, dipped in ice cold water to stop the cooking, and now I'm peeling. Got my recipe out. I never remember it from year to year. A little easier to peel them this way, but not totally. This one didn't steam too good, it looks like, but I'll get him. And I cut them up and put them in my measuring jar. And regardless of what Sure-Jell says, it says not to double your recipe. Well, I've doubled it every year for the last 5 or 6 years and no problem. It also says that you should chop it up fine. Well, I don't do that either. I wait till I get it in the pan with my Sure-Jell and my sugar, and I take a flat spatula and I chop them up while they're cooking. So anyway, in my preserves, I like to have pieces of fruit in them, not just jelly. If I wanted jelly, I would make jelly, which sometimes I do. An old friend of mine, back when I was principal in Lorain, I had her to do my peach preserves, and she made peach peel jelly, which I have done also, and it's good, but I prefer the peach jam. So I will fill this measuring jar up to 4 cups because there's space in between. It only calls for 3 cups. All right, I have my first batch, and it, again, as I said, it's doubled. I've already got my pectin in there, my Sure-Jell, and you're to let that boil come to a boil that you can't stir down. And this is beginning to heat up, and I've got my butter in there. As you see, that is supposed to keep it from creating the skim on it. So we'll see if that works. Then here are the peaches that I've already boiled in water and cooled off for the next batch. I'll have to do about that many more. And then here is 11 cups of sugar. And once the peaches over here with the Sure-Jell has started to boil, and it has boiled to a point where you can't stir it down, then you add all of your sugar at one time. Now this is what I was talking about. When mine's, I don't chop it up in small pieces previous to cooking it. As I said, I get it in this pot and I use this spatula and I chop it. It'll be easier to chop once they get cooked. So you can see this is beginning to smoke a little bit. So anyway, I'll bring this with the Sure-Jell in the butter. Oh, and I did put a tablespoon or two of lemon juice in there. I don't know what that does. I've done it before without lemon juice, and it seemed to work just fine. I think it has something to do with the acid content reacting with the Sure-Jell. And I will chop these up some more as we go along. I won't chop them up once it comes to a boil, because that thick syrup will splash right up on you. And I have somewhere here a solution for that. And here it is, down here with all my other under the sink junk. And that is this glove. And filming, I have a headset that the GoPro hooks to, and you can put it on your forehead just like you do a cap. And that's how I'm doing this. I hope it works out. If it does, you'll know it. If it doesn't, you'll probably never know it, unless I can adjust it with the next batch, which I won't do until tomorrow. Because after this batch, I will make sure I've got everything cleaned up. I went to the store this morning and bought 2 boxes of these jars, which I've already got. As I said, I've already had them in the dishwasher. Then I've scalded them. Then I've got my lids here to go on as soon as I pour them up. And over here are all of my rings to go on. And of course, there's my sugar and my leftover peaches. And some more jars in there that you can see that are ready to go. All right, this is beginning to boil pretty good. And I keep it with this bottom, this flat bottoms spatula. You can see it's beginning to pop up. I can keep the bottom scraped so that nothing scorches, which is an important process. I think that's probably pretty good. So all I'm waiting on is it to get to a boil that I cannot stir down, and it has not reached that point yet. I'm going to put on my glove. Then it can just pop away. Trying to get there. This glove is sort of in my way. I'm going to try a dish towel instead. See a little scum building up in there. I'll dip all of that I can off, because there will be more than that after I put the sugar in. Right, I cannot stir that down. So here comes the sugar. And it says to pour it all in there at one time. So that's what I do. And I just add it to my, I can do it with this towel, because it's not going to begin to pop until that sugar all gets hot. So I just continue to stir, and you can see better now the pieces of my peaches. That's the way I like my preserves. If I wanted jelly, as I said, I'd make jelly.
And after nearly 20 years, as of today, all U.S. and NATO forces have left Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan.
While you're watching, let me remind you, I'd like for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like and share with all your friends. If you do that, I'd appreciate it. All right, all my sugar's just about melted. I help it along. Now, you cook this. This is where the bubbling and popping gets to you. When it reaches a boil that you cannot stir down, then you're supposed to let it cook from that point for 2 minutes after it has reached the point where you can't stir it down. But to be on the safe side, I usually go 3 minutes, because I like my preserves to set up good. We'll let it sit there. I'll watch it and to keep it from scorching on the bottom. And I keep a watch on my clock there. Once it reaches that point where I can't stir the boil down, we'll be through here in 4 or 5 more minutes. Then what I do, I take my pitcher here that I measured my fruit in, and I'll turn about 5 or 6 of these jars over and ready. Then I'll take a cup and fill this up, and then I pour it directly into the jar, and that process has worked well for me for many years.
What do you think of that answer, Congressman Walz?
Well, it was a non-answer because he has no plan. We have no other bases in the region.
You should think. If you'll notice, most of the peaches have turned into a juice. The peaches, Mary went and got these peaches this morning. I think she had to drive an hour or so to get them. And they sure look good. There's some bad spots on all of them, but that is typical with peaches. I will make probably 2 more batches of jam preserves, and then I will probably slice and freeze some. Of course, I'm going to eat some too. Now see, this is getting to boil pretty good, but it's still not that rolling boil that the old recipe called for. And I can't tell that that butter helped the scum problem at all. I'm going to have a job raking all that off. It has reached that boiling point. All right, my clock says 2:45, so we will cut it off at 2:48. I'll watch the clock and make sure it's been on 2:45 for a while. But you can see this oil, I can't stir it down, and that's what the recipe calls for. I hadn't been popped on yet, so I've been rather lucky. There's 46, so we've got 2 more minutes to go. Now it's popping good. I'm going to get me some protection here right quick. Keep my spatula from falling in. But not my towel. May call this dish towels preserves. Boy, it's a popping now. I may have to clean my glasses when I get through here. At 2:47, I will turn my burner off since these are electric. This is an electric stove and the burners stay hot for quite a while, so we'll turn it off and they will cook for another minute, I'm sure. Well, there goes my towel into my jam. I think this was a rather clean towel. Yeah, it's slowing down considerably now. Still boiling good, and the clock hasn't reached 2:48 yet. Won't know until tomorrow. If I got, now we're at 2:48. I'm going to switch burners with this. Get it completely off of the heat. And let it cool just slightly. I'm through with this spatula, so it can go in the dishwater. All right, see how much of this scum I can round up over here to the side. I'll get some of it, but I won't get all of it, I know. I don't know that it hurts. It doesn't hurt the taste of it. I've sort of got it rounded up over here. This edge you can let this scum sort of cool because you're dipping up the juice too, and you can tell pretty quick as it cools down whether you've got a good gel or not. And I fill up my pitcher. One full pitcher makes about 2 pints. Maybe that'll stay there. All right, here we go. Right about there. Two pints and a little left over. I think I'm gonna make 6 pints here. Now, as soon as I get this in there, I will get a wet paper towel and I will wipe off the rim real good, which will eliminate the lid from sticking. Now let's see what we got. I've got some half pints over here, and I might have just enough and I think I will have just enough to fill up one of the half pints. Put that pan over there and let it start filling with water. All right, let's see what I've got for that half pint. Look at there. I think I can add just a little more to a few of these. This one for sure. And if I've got any left, very little. Well, I wonder if I'm going to start the dishwasher. I don't usually use the dishwasher very much. Get my rings here. Whoop. I forgot to get the paper towel. And dampen it. I can see the juice on that one. Practice running down. Okay, now the next job is to put on the rings, the lids. Screw on the rings. And wait until they pop. And when they pop, that is an indication that they've sealed. I'll go back a little later and tighten these some more. Need one more ring. All right, that batch made. Look and be jealous. And now for me to make some biscuits and try them out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, share, and like. Thanks.